All right, this is Gary Berger of Berger Law. I'm videotaping our client Letitia and Jake Tomachek of our office. Why are we videotaping today?
Well, we were, after a long fight with an insurance company on an uninsured motorist claim, we were able to get missed out here the policy limits of her claim. We're really proud of the work we did for her, and we got a great result.
What do we have to do it?
Well, it was a fight. As she'll tell you, we sent demands pre-suit, got stonewalled at every turn, fought them for almost over 2 years, I guess, and eventually filed suit. Went through written discovery. She had to have her deposition taken, and then a few days after that, they said, "You know what? You're right, Ted. We do this."
You must have crushed your deposition.
Yeah, I did the best I could. Of course, told the truth. But he was tricky. But I did the best that I could. And
the other lawyer?
Yes.
What'd you think about how Berger Law did?
It was awesome. It was a long, over 2-year process, but it was awesome. I got a lot of updates. Every time I had questions, I was able to talk to someone. So,
from what I understand, you just came to sign the release. Is that right today? And then I talked you into doing this video, right?
Yes.
You did not want to.
Right.
I don't want to talk about some of the amount of money, but we got the policy limits, every dime that could have been gotten, right?
Yes.
And we could have left and gone earlier for less, but we fought to the end till we got everything.
Yes.
Was that important to you?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. Just from talking to my attorneys, I knew what the case was worth. So I just, they told me to be patient. So that's what I did.
When you came to us, what was stressing you out? What didn't you know? If you can put yourself back in that time, what was worrying to you? What were you worried about?
My biggest concern, when they said, when I realized that something was, wrong with my shoulder, is how I was gonna be able to go forward in the future if this was something that could not be repaired in, physical therapy. So I knew nothing about any of this when I started.
Do you feel like you know more now?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Do you, so the driver who hit you was uninsured?
Yes.
So we made an uninsured claim on your own insurance policy.
Yes, sir.
Did that make you nervous making a claim on your own insurance policy? Because I get that question from people all the time.
I did not know that you could do that. Just, this is, I never went through, something like this before. So I never knew, even in looking at the insurance documentation, what it meant when it even said policy. I had no idea what any of that even meant.
We figured it out for you.
Yes. Yes.
And did you know that like every driver has to carry that in Missouri and Illinois and most other states, has to carry some level of uninsured?
I found out
later.
After, yes.
Your coverage was pretty good.
Yeah.
So you're saying keep good uninsured coverage.
Right. And pay attention to the documentation when you get car insurance, what it says, ask questions. Definitely I've learned.
The other thing that I get questions about are people are afraid of their to do a deposition. What do you have to tell people about that? If you have to actually file suit and do a deposition? I
would say to do what the attorneys say. They get you prepared prior and to just tell the truth, pretty much. If you tell the truth, you don't have to be nervous. You don't have to, is it strange having someone typing while you're talking and being, under oath? Yes, if you're not used to it. But as long as you just tell the truth, you're good to go. You
did great your deposition. They offered the policy shortly after.
Yeah.
Did you watch my videos on how to do a deposition and stuff?
I did. I watched it a couple of times.
Were those helpful?
Yes.
Good. Yes. And then what do you think about, how did you like having Jake work for you? How did Jake do?
I thought he did great.
Good.
He was great.
Jake, tell me about, what was it like working with Letitia and going through this process?
It was honestly a pleasure.
Isn't she a great
She's
lady?
Great. She works with people in need, which I really admire her as a person. I'm really proud of the result we were able to get her. She took my advice, which, believe it or not, taking your lawyer's advice sometimes is half the battle. and she was honest, and her truth really came through in her deposition. I don't think anyone in the room was doubting anything she said at any point, and I think that's really important to getting a great result.
You're here. I'm jumping a little bit. Thank you. I get it. I remember debriefing you on that too. You're here signing a release today. What does it mean to a client when they sign a release? What does that mean?
Well, basically, it's at this point, it's ending the lawsuit. After this is signed, we'll end up dismissing the lawsuit. Basically, it's saying that you're not going to go after your insurance company for any more money, or not going to sue them again for this incident. In a limits case like this, there really wouldn't be a point to sue for any more money anyway, because there's going to be no more money to be had. But what I like about Letitia is she looked over the release. She was sure to. I saw her read through it. It wasn't just her signing a piece of paper. She was careful about it, and I was comfortable with having her sign it the whole time.
And signing a release means you're done with your case. You can never sue anybody again for that claim. You're done with it.
That's right.
But you make a good point. And here, it was for all the money that could get. So there wasn't any real downside to doing it. Fair?
Fair.
All right. Great. Now let me switch back to you, Letitia. What was it like? Sometimes people say, I didn't work a lot with you in this case,
mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
You worked with Jake. Was it okay for you to work with one of the lawyers in my firm who wasn't me?
Yes, absolutely.
Why?
Honestly, from the reviews, I just knew that everyone was on the same page. So
good.
I trusted from the very start that you guys were all trained, the same way. So
Good. Would you recommend Berger Law and Jake and me, Gary Berger, to folks out there?
Absolutely.
Great.
Absolutely.
Great. Did you know that the settlement is tax-free? You don't have to put it on your tax return.
I learned that along the way and found out again today. So.
You researched that yourself, too.
Yes.
One of the great things, you've looked at this other stuff as we've gone along, and you've done, because you did different stages. You had a claim stage. You were treating. They went settle. We filed suit. We did discovery. We did depositions. Then there's a lot of different stages in the claim process that you went through.
Right.
What did you do to educate yourself and learn about that?
Honestly, just, you guys had a lot of information. Like you guys had some YouTube videos and just other videos out there. You guys sent emails regularly just explaining other things that you're doing within the firm. So you just kind of learn from just reading all of that and anything else, that you can about this type of situation.
And you research it yourself, it sounds like, too. Good. Cool. Anything else?
No, sir. You guys are great.
Thank you so much for doing this video. I think what you experience, one of the reasons why we do these is because what you go through, other people go through. And so if you can teach other people from what you went through, that's like one of the things we like to share. Cool?
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you.